is Shrancy, if you guys don't already know, and I hope you guys clicked on this video because of the title, because everything what the title says is true, and I will actually be going over it. So, the title, I'm hoping it says I wrote this book when I was 11, because this book right here, called The Dark Arts of Unnem, is a book that I wrote when I was 11 years old. When I was 11. So I'm not 11 anymore, I'm actually 15, and I'll just go through that timeline a little bit later in this video. So in this video, I just want to go over a couple things. So one, I just want to go over about me, like, you know, a little bit about me, like who is the author that I don't know, who said that she wrote this book when she was 11, and I want to go through my writing journey, and I also want to go through the book, of course. So let's get started. So like I said earlier, my name is Shrancy, and I'm 15, and I really like writing. If that's not obvious enough, I like writing, reading, drawing. I do swimming. I also do dancing. I also did a little bit of figure skating, just like normal ice skating, and I also do the violin, but I'm not that great at it. Don't like expect a Mozart or Beethoven. Oh my god, I can't even pronounce his name. Beethoven. I'm not that great at it, but I enjoy doing it, and that's I guess all that can be known about me for now. Because if I said every single thing about me, it'd just be a list, and this video would be like an hour long, and I don't want that. Okay, so now I'm gonna actually go on to my writing journey, because even though I wrote this book, even though I wrote this book at 11, my writing journey did not start at 11. So I was gonna say 5, but I don't know the actual age, but I was very young when I started to do writing. So my mom, I don't want to say that she forced me, but as a kid, like when you don't want to do something, you would call it forcing. So in like force for my own good, my mom told me that I should improve my handwriting, and to do that she said, oh, just find these books and then write down word for word, like paragraphs of this, write down this entire chapter on this paper word for word so that your handwriting can improve. I remember I did this to Geronimo Stilton books, and then this other book about like a treehouse, I don't know the name. Yeah, so then afterwards, I think from after that I started to like kind of enjoy writing, like I could flow it freely. But when I was small, I enjoyed drawing a little bit more. I don't know, I just felt like I really connected to being able to be so artistic and creative. I actually also drew this cover when I was 11 too. And then later on in like grades, I think 1 to 4, I had like I had diaries that I would write in almost daily, not daily, like it would be pretty inconsistent, but I still write them, and I actually kind of enjoyed writing. But like I said before, I also valued drawing a little bit more than writing, because for me, drawing, I could just freely draw without having to think about anything. So then from there onwards, like my love for writing kind of died down. Like the passion died down for it, but the passion for drawing actually went up. And it's kind of funny because now as I'm older, like it's kind of the opposite. My passion for writing has gone up, and my passion for drawing, like I still like drawing, but I don't do it as often because I don't have that much time to do it, and it's like it's not the first thing on my mind that I would do. And yeah, so then at that time, like I think grade 4 or 5, I started picking up reading again as well. Like I started reading Harry Potter. I remember in grade 5, me and my friends, we had like a book club of our own of Harry Potter, and I would just read. And then I was in grade 5 when the pandemic hit, so during lockdown I would just read all day. I would read physical books like Harry Potter, and then I was on Netflix. I watched this one anime, and they removed it actually, I think last year. And I was like, okay, I need more of these characters. Like, where can I get more? And then I saw that there were fan fictions of them online, so I started reading those online. And while I was reading those, because like I said, in like the lockdown, I couldn't do anything, so all I did was all day I would read these fan fictions. And oh my god, this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but as I was reading them, what happened was, in my mind, I started narrating every single action like how the fanfiction or the book does. Like I remember I was putting my bedsheet on, and I remember thinking to myself, oh, Shrancy's reluctantly putting on the bedsheet, and I was like, whoa, am I like reading a little bit too much for my own good? I was kind of concerned, but like it just continued to happen. Like I didn't think about it, and it just popped up in my brain that I was narrating everything. And then in grade 6, so in 2021, in grade 6, my teacher, no, 2020, because this was like the December, like November, December of 2020 when I was in grade 6. So my teacher, she set up an assignment where it's like, oh, create like your own short story about these characters who go on an adventure together and they find that they can grow and learn. So all my classmates, all my friends, they wrote like 5 pages, and because we had to present it to the class, and I wrote around 50. I still remember the name too. It was like Cordial Journey. I wrote like 50 pages and I added so much depth to the characters. Like I added character growth and I added a bunch of romance too with the side characters. I'm like, oh my god, for a school assignment. But I got so much positive feedback from my teachers, and I got my parents to read it too, and they also really liked it too. And they told me, oh, you should write a book. And I was like, write a book? Like, isn't that kind of like not allowed? Because at that time, I didn't think that you could write and publish a book at 11 years old. I just thought like you had to be, oh, I don't know, 18, 20, like you had to be at least an adult. That's what I thought. But I was so wrong, and I was proven by myself. Like, I was like, oh my god. So I'm like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah. So I started writing a book, and this, I did not come up with this story at first. No, I came up with a completely different one. And sad to say, that story, it wasn't the best. Like, oh, like even like I still remember bits and parts of the story, and even I'm like, okay, like this wasn't that good. Like even I knew it. I got my mom to read, and she was like, this kind of like nonsense. And I'm like, yeah, this is nonsense. So I'm like, okay, I need to find a new plot. And so every day I would just keep like trying to find plot, but like nothing spoke to me. Like no plot, like no idea spoke to me. I'm like, okay, when am I ever gonna find a plot? And then one day, I think I had a dream. Yeah, I had a dream, and it was of this exact cover. Like it was just this girl holding a sword, right? Probably because I was thinking so much about like fantasies, and I'm like, this screams a fantasy main female main lead, and I'm like, why don't I just write that? So then I got the idea and I started writing, and thankfully, to my surprise too, I was able to formulate a good plot while also being able to write it smoothly. Although I did procrastinate quite a lot every time that I would open my laptop to write, because I wrote it on Google Docs. I would actually open up YouTube, look for music and just procrastinate. But I was able to finish it within the year of 2021. So this is how the timeline goes. So the beginning of 2021, from January to June, so I was in grade 6, and then from September to December, I was in grade 7. So I had a late birthday in October, so I started the book at 11, and then I ended it, I think, in November, December of 2021, which was when I was 12. And then the entire year of 2022, so I just edited it a little bit. Like, I got my dad to just look over it, because he did not help me write it at all. Nobody helped me write the book at all. I wrote it by myself. I would just, if I needed help from my dad, I would just ask him, oh, what can I name this? What can I name this? Like, what can I name this place that? And I would describe the place, and he would just give me the name. I'm like, okay, thank you so much. So he looked over it, and it was good. And we started looking for publishers the entire year of 2022. But as you can guess, we kind of got none because, well, imagine getting an email from someone being like, hi, I'm 12 years old, and I want to publish my book. Could you please look at my book? Yeah. I don't like underestimating people, especially because of their age, but that's what a lot of the publishers did, and that's what I believe that they did, because they would always say, oh, I'm sorry, but we do not want to publish your type of book. Like, thousands of publishers sent me that, and I'm like, when am I going to find a publisher that will accept me? And then a publisher did accept me, Austin Macaulay. I don't know if you could see. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, right here. It's probably gonna be mirrored, so I don't know. But Austin Macaulay, they were like, okay, we're gonna publish your book, and we were so happy. And honestly, I did not like actually get the feeling that my book was getting published. Like it did not hit me until later in grade 8, like because the entire year, like when we got the publisher and until the publishing date, we were just going back and forth, editing and just talking to the publisher all in all. So it didn't really hit me, and I was like, okay, this is in my dad's hands now. Like, he's gonna work with the publisher on this, and I can just lay back. My work is done. So, it didn't hit me until grade 8 because, so the end of grade 8, it was 2023, and that's when my book got published. It got published May 26, 2023. It didn't really hit me until my friends were telling me to practice my signatures for book writing because I would need book signing. And I was like, wait, I'm actually becoming an author. Like, this is unreal. And I was honestly, it was just so like I just felt so happy. I felt so proud of myself too because even if my writing has changed in grade 8, like I wrote it when I was 11. I wrote it in grade 6 and I could not be prouder of myself. And so that happened, and because I left this book with like on like a cliffhanger, I needed to write the second part. So I started it when I was 12, but I wrote like first 2 pages. I never finished it. And then when I was 13, I started writing it more. I didn't even get to 100 pages though. Like, I'm being so honest. I got to like, I think 50 pages. So I was like, okay, I need to lock in. I need to finish this book. So in the summer of 2024, when I was 14 years old, I finished writing the sequel in under a month, like less than a month. And I'm really happy that I did finish it in the summer of 2024 because I made the plot so complex, so different than what I originally imagined it to be, and I really enjoy it. Like, the plot is so originally mine. And I don't know, I just feel like it was just like, I can't believe I created this. Like, and even when I was editing it, because I was editing it like back in October or December, yeah, in December, like during the winter break of this year, I was like, I wrote this. Like, I could not even believe some of the phrases that I wrote. I wrote it. And yeah, and it's gonna be published soon once I lock in to finish the cover art, which I don't know when that's happening. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this book before I end this, because this is kind of like the main part of it. So I'm just going to read the blurb on the back, and I'll just expand on it a little bit more before ending the video. So, The Dark Secrets of Unnem is a teenage fantasy novel about a girl who lost her parents at a young age and was raised in an orphanage. As she navigates life and tries to figure out how to live it, she is forced to accept challenges beyond her own identity. Forced to flee and live under an alliance to survive, she finds herself in the beautiful country of Hesper, where a ruthless dictator is using force to take over various areas in a quest for personal revenge. As she is aided by someone thought to be dead and struggles to uncover the truth about her parents, she must also confront this oppressive dictator and face his son, who is torn between his loyalty to his father and his desire to fight injustice. Can she stop a terrible event from occurring in the country while also discovering her true identity? So yes, this is my book. This is just a general description of it, but I don't want to go too deep into it because I don't want to spoil anything if you guys do give this a chance. If I'm being honest, I don't know how far this video is going to go, but if anyone is watching this, I'm not going to spoil it for you, so don't worry. But yeah, so in this book, I tried to add like many different genres, not just fantasy. So I added snippets of romance too, because I really like writing romance. Although this book does not have a lot of it, the sequel has a lot of it though. Like the sequel, has. Hey guys, this is Shreyansi while editing, and I realized looking back at this video that I forgot a lot of things, including the sequel, which I keep yapping about, but like there's no name of it. So I'm here to tell you that right now. So basically the sequel's name, I'm thinking it will be The Dark Arts of Unnem. The Dark Secrets, the Dark Arts, it matches. And I believe that it will be published maybe, I don't want to say during summer or like before summer, but definitely before winter. So do keep an eye out. And one last thing before you actually get back to the original video is, if you do give this book a chance, keep in mind that I was 11 when I wrote this, so it might not be up to your taste or it might not be the best, but I was 11, so some of the way that the sentences I wrote or the stylistic choices came from me when I was 11, not me when I'm like 20 or whatever. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, okay, I'll stop talking. So much, I wrote so much. So if you're looking for romance, the sequel will be pretty good for you, but you're gonna have to read this one before that. And I tried writing a bit of action as well, although I can't write action that well. I tried to put more angst in it as well. There's not a lot in this one. This one's more light, a little bit more carefree. The second one is where all the trauma happens. It's where like so much angst. It's just like, oh my god. Even when I was rereading it and editing it, I was like, damn, she's going through a lot, bro. But basically that is my book that I wrote at 11, and I hope that you guys give this book a chance because like I said, I'm really proud of myself. I wrote it when I was 11 years old, and like I said before, I expanded the plot so much in the sequel that's going to be coming out soon that it's just like you kind of have to read it at that point because like I don't know, but I really hope that whoever's seeing this, if anyone is seeing this, gives this book a chance because, don't judge a book by its cover. Kind of cliche, but also very true. And I hope that like I said, I hope anyone who sees this gives it a chance, and maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. And right before this video ends, I'm just gonna draw my Instagram handle, like up here. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop it up there. I do not have a TikTok to advertise this book because every time I try to create one, TikTok always bans me because I always write when author when I was 11 years old, and then it just like thinks that I'm 11, so it just bans me. But I'm thinking of starting another one again, like creating another one, so be on the lookout for that. And I thank you guys so much for listening to this video that is mostly kind of yap. And yeah, I really hope you give this a chance, and thank you so much.